Give it a wop pop a doobie lop pow.
Stole my idea, man.
Yeah, knew it was coming.
It's
That
coming.
was that was from Melissa. Her new intro music.
She doesn't listen to this anymore. It took her about 3
Nah.
episodes before she realized we're fucking idiots.
Yeah, you guys are fucking dumb. All right. Well, hello, planet.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It feels appropriate after going over the
fucking goofy
Geographics
Podbean
stuff.
statistics.
What Up UK. What was it? Boglaton or something. We had some random ones on there.
Like Brazil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know more people in the UK than I know in Canada, so
Right.
that's kind of weird.
Shout out to the 15 in Canada.
Old J-Pan, Mr. Johnny Waibera.
Well, it is. It's not Monday. It's not a happy Monday.
No.
It's Tuesday, because I had a rental truck yesterday that could be used for exactly 24 hours, and I used almost all of those 24 to get my final moving done to the new place.
How's it coming along?
You know, I'm out. I'm out of the old place. We just got to start unpacking now.
That's
I've at least got my little Zen set up, right? Like I've got my desk and I've got my recording equipment.
step one.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. But other than that, we're not. It's overwhelming. It's a lot of crap. So
Has the weather been
took
decent?
the whole week
At
off.
least.
yesterday was freaking gorgeous here. It was 75 degrees, sunny. Today it was like 45 and raining. So it's pretty horrible now. But we're pretty much inside. We just got to unpack boxes and
Nice. That's good.
get it going.
Done,
Get settled in.
done fighting with that spiral staircase.
Dude, the worst way to move was like, let's move to a 3-story walk up with a spiral staircase. Seems fine.
Moving out should be fun.
I'm going to just set it on fire and walk away.
Sure. Yeah. See if-
Renter's insurance is so much cheaper than the chiropractor appointments that it takes to correct all of this moving. So torch it and I'm out.
Fuck it.
Well, dude, the news aspect of you'd think the Galaxy would put out a fair amount of content like every week. Like I wouldn't have to go hunting too far to find good
You would
things.
think, but I mean that's kind of why we started this too, right? It's because
Right.
the search for it can be
Well, yeah, no-
surprisingly fucking difficult.
We're here to spoon feed you. Don't worry, baby birds. But
Showed up without a spoon today, so
yeah, I got a ton of video game stuff, which most of it's not super important. It never is.
I like video
But
games.
the one thing is going to require a little bit of work on your part.
Oh, is it a
Not
game?
not yours, Tyler.
Oh, okay.
But the masses here. April 22nd was the Hubble telescope's 26th birthday in space up there, and they posted a rather fantastic image. If you go over to www.sciencenews.org, it should be still up on the main page. If you've never been to that website, they have a ton of great shit. But they show the Hubble telescope's colored image of basically a very young star pushing gases. I forgot how wide the picture was. It was 7 or something light years across is how big the photo is. That they
Oh
took.
wow.
But it's fantastic. It's one of the best images you'll see, and it's of the heavens up there, man. It's nice to see that the Hubble is still producing fantastic images 26 years later.
That's nutty,
So-
dude.
Go check that out.
I'm not sure what he did, but I don't think you've met him before. Alex and Travis are twins. They're my buddies in Colorado, and then their older sister Jessica. They all live in Colorado, but their dad worked on part of the Hubble telescope while they were building it back. Would you say 22 years ago?
26.
26 years ago.
26.
So that's pretty cool.
You know what he did for it?
No, I
Like, is
don't.
he,
I'm not sure what he did.
All right.
Yeah. So that's that. He might have put the American flag sticker on the side of it. I don't know.
That's the only job that I want. Let's put
That's
that
the
out
only
there.
job that I'm qualified for the Hubble telescope.
If I could just be the guy that got to slap America stickers on stuff.
That's ours.
Dibs.
In case the
I want
Sparks
that-
aliens show up, they know whose telescope is whose.
So, other than the fact that I want the T-shirt that I saw that has the American astronaut in the moon, and he's planting the flag, and it says "Finders Keepers."
Yeah.
It turns out Finders Keepers thing is about to go out the window because we are now in a full-on space war with China.
Well, this
I guess they have.
sounds familiar.
They said they're going to go build a base up there, and they're going to go to Mars. They're going to do it faster and I guess just faster. I don't know if you can do it better, but they think it's going to be better than anything that we could do. So, fuck you, America. They're going for it. I mean, they already have all of our money anyways, so.
that
You know,
yeah.
Donald Trump says that he's going to build a wall and make China pay for it. Or not China. Mexico pay for it.
You're one of those.
But
That
for
motherfucker.
sure, China can build a space program and make America pay for it.
I
Like, I wish they had like a Chinese Donald Trump, like same bad hair, just like
there has to
super
be a show
corny.
over there somewhere.
He's like, we go to the moon, I make America pay for it. That would be, God. Someone pick this idea up and make the best SNL skit that has ever been made.
Honestly, I'll be completely honest. I don't give a fuck who does it. Somebody just fucking do it. And instead of just shooting around like fucking cavemen, just standing around and shooting each other, fucking do something productive instead of not doing anything productive at all. Which is exactly what we fucking do every goddamn day. We don't do fucking dick. But I don't like the way he dresses. Shut the fuck up and look forward, you fucking idiot.
Smile towards space. If they build that lunar base, I've got to have my resume ready. I don't know what I'm going to put on it to make them pick me, but I'll go mine the moon. Just say you did it. Do a rotation. What are you doing?
Just tag
you gotta
me.
be drilling for
just
oil.
Tag me in the fucking pictures, and I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it from here.
Nah, I got to. If there is any way to get off the blue marble, even if it's just for a little bit, I gotta try.
I'd check out Mars, but I don't think the moon is worth my time. I think I'm above that.
Too good for the moon.
Too good for the fucking moon.
Too good for the furthest celestial body that we've ever reached with a human being.
Yeah, because somebody's already been there. That's not,
Yeah,
it's not
supposedly.
impressive.
I mean, depends on what part of YouTube you're in, right?
Sure. Yeah. Fuck. I could be the first.
Yeah. The Earth is flat and no
Can
one's
you
ever been
imagine being the guy who did walk on the moon and then hearing everybody like, "No, fuck you, you liar." Like,
there. Video or it didn't happen.
I don't-
He's like, it's right there.
I mean, you've seen everything. I don't know how else to prove it to you.
Everything has, if anything is larger than your peripheral vision, it's fucking not true.
Mhm.
Like, that's the way humans are. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't happen.
I'm guilty of it too.
The Holocaust didn't happen. Like, there's
Oh, boy.
people
Oh boy.
that everything
Good
has
thing
had.
we're not
Think about it.
famous, and there's not somebody out there waiting to just take shit out of context and
Just-
post a voice clip of you saying the Holocaust didn't happen over and over
I mean,
and over again.
it for sure did. Just saying, there's always been groups of people that have just, I don't know if it's like a sense of, Like they need self-importance. They need to feel. It's like the vegan thing. Like they need to feel
That motherfucker, dude.
above other people.
Yeah.
So it didn't happen, and this is why. You're all sheep for believing it. Like, I mean, you can still see the camps. They're there. You could go. I don't know what there's pictures. There's some people remember it. They're not all dead.
Yeah, no, turns out it wasn't that long ago. So
Yeah. As soon as those people got too old to like scream about it, they're like, man, it didn't happen. Nah, they tattooed themselves. It was just trendy to get the numbers. I don't get it. The flat Earth thing all of a sudden got popular again.
that was interesting. That was just a press stunt, wasn't it? For who? What? Oh,
It was Tila Tequila and that B.O.B. dude,
so
Bob. I don't know why he spells it out.
a porn star,
A
a reality
porn star.
TV show
Yeah.
star turned porn star, and
So just reality TV show stars.
sure, yeah, they're all equally soulless.
They're all either
so-
started in porn or ended up in porn.
Speaking of that, China died. A lot has happened this week, or I
my
guess
God.
since the last podcast. But I don't even know what the fuck B.O.B. sings, but I'm sure it's super interesting. But
You would have heard some of his stuff. He's
He-
pretty popular. He's not like the weird thing I guess against him is he's not the Tila Tequila. He's not like a has-been that's not popular anymore. Like he's made a bunch of hits
He's
here in the
current,
past
yeah.
couple of years. Yeah, like he's still very current and very popular as far as I know. And he still did this. Now, maybe he thought he was fading.
well, it was
just enough.
right when his record was coming out, so it was just like a hey, everybody, look at me,
Remember me?
and
then
then everybody's like, oh, she's got a record out, and then forgot it.
Yeah. It's either that or these guys get bombarded with people that tell them all types of shit all of the time. And somebody was like, puh, they're just trying to cloud your mind with nonsense because of what really is happening. And dude was like, what's really happening? And this guy filled him with enough half-truths and false information that that the veil had been uncovered. All of a sudden, like he knows why freaking why people in Hollywood go crazy, and he knows like all of this. He knows that the Earth is flat and that all of the instruments on every airplane have always been faked. Even back when they flew without digital instruments, that was somehow all faked. He knows that there's guards around the border of the entire planet that somehow stop you from getting there, but no one has ever reported.
Is this a thing?
This is a thing. He knows this. He knows that this happened.
This is a lot fucking cooler than the Earth actually is, as it turns out. Like, all of
Yeah,
this sounds
it's-
way
yeah.
fucking cooler. Like, I'd watch this movie.
Yeah. So, he posts like he believes that if you go up on a mountain and look, that you should see it like instantly curve off. Like we live on the fucking planet that, what was that black and white character off of Dragon Ball Z that had the house on the little...
Oh, Mr. Popo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like that's what he believes. He's like, well, how come no matter how high I go, you can't see around it? And I posted a response
What he
to
meant
him on
was, no
Twitter.
matter how high I get, the Earth never curves.
So that's what he put. He goes, here's a picture from the top of whatever mountain it was on. And he said, you still can't see a curvature of the Earth. For sure you can. It's called the horizon. And it's further away now. Like, okay. So beyond the fact that you just showed a picture of the curvature of the Earth and said there wasn't one, I did a reply to him from our Horrible Influence account. Not that it fucking matters, but we got...
But you never
we
know.
I was gonna say, I don't have 10,000 followers on there, but we got about 2,000.
Yep.
Like we can make a dent, and so I got on there and I put. It turns out you can get high enough, and I sent a weather balloon photo. That's like stratosphere, right? Like the thing's up there, and you could see just like the dome of the Earth. It's like, turns out you can't get high enough. It's not unreachable because they believe every photo. The blue marble photo, the very famous two NASA photos.
That was
that
another one of
show-
his arguments, right? Was like, why is NASA the only group?
Why are the people that go to space the only people that take pictures? I don't know.
Yeah,
Fucking idiot. But
blow your mind.
the same photo that is used to show the deforestation of the earth, right? Like, this is how we can prove how much of the earth's forest we've depleted, is also the one that he says isn't true. Like, why would they release something fake that also hurt their own government's cause? Like, so there's one group of people using it to say that global warming and deforestation of the earth is a massive impact, and then he's also using them as like saying they're propaganda to keep us believing the earth is round. Like, what do we gain out of the earth? That's the one thing I don't think any of them have been able to answer, is like, why the fuck would it matter? Like, if it was really flat, why would it matter?
Yeah.
Oh, hey man, we thought the earth was round, but it's not, it's flat. Tune in next week and we'll have some more news.
Yeah.
And then just like,
Well,
what
I
the
guess
fuck
I'm just
does-
gonna go to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play video games when we're done here. Nothing has changed.
They used to think it was flat.
It's like as soon as everybody knows that it's flat, everybody's just gonna like, oh, just fucking fly away. Oh, fuck.
They gotta hold on to something that puts them above. I don't know why I got off on such a tangent on that. But the fucking flat earthers. Speaking of flat earthers, Prince died.
Yeah, he was super jazzed about
Chemtrails.
chemtrails. Yeah.
I saw
Homie was
51
all about
minutes.
it.
This is how long it takes. 51 minutes after Prince died, there was a news report saying, news, let me quote that up because not fucking news, but
Oh,
a news
boy.
report saying that he died of chemtrail flu. They like purposely poisoned him with it because he was talking about it. Like with one of those little, I can only imagine it was a guy in a top hat, one of those little poovers that you use to fucking
Yeah.
make your
They're
fireplace
like
go up.
Is it a bellow? Is that
Bellow,
what they're called?
Yeah. Suck it.
Suck it, Prince. But he's blowing it on him from like a mile away. This is effective.
Yeah. I mean,
Wearing like a plague doctor, like the fucking leather mask with like the big beak and the fucking round eyes, like some fucking Darkest Dungeon shit.
yeah. Prince died. China died.
Yeah.
And Patton Oswalt's wife died. This one kind of went unnoticed.
Yeah, that
But she was only like 44.
Did his
she's
special
like a
just
writer.
come out?
Yeah. Just came out.
It's fucking crazy. Weird
Yeah,
timing. I didn't hear what the reason was for her death, for Patton Oswalt's wife, or for China's death.
China's was a overdose.
Oh, okay. And so
It said
was Prince,
apparent
right?
overdose. Prince was sick, and they said he had the flu, and he canceled a show. Then they had to land a plane, emergency land, and he was taken to the hospital and then released, and then he went back home. Then he said he felt better, and he did a show, but he only did 80 minutes. And I don't know if you know this, but Prince would do hours and hours on stage.
Okay.
He'd get up there with a piano and play his guitar. He'd do it all himself, and he'd play forever. I've never got to see one, unfortunately, but I guess the shows were fantastic. Then he went home. They found him dead in his elevator.
Doesn't
So-
heroin withdrawals have flu-like symptoms?
Yeah. I
Because
never.
I thought
I
thought I
don't
heard
know.
that they found him with a bunch of fucking opiates in his system, like he OD'd on painkillers. You know, like they all fucking do these days.
I don't know. I thought Prince was like super clean. This is so creepy. As I just had a
painkillers aren't drugs,
conversation. Right. I just had a conversation about how he was the one like eccentric artist that even though seemed kind of batshit crazy, had outlived like the partying and he was very like healthy looking. He didn't go Michael Jackson batshit crazy or I don't know, insert name of 80s pop star. They
Sure.
all went fucking bonkers. And he seemed to be fine. And then this was maybe 2 weeks ago I was talking about this. And then now he just fucking died. So I guess not.
That's weird. Yeah, like it was always interesting to me like how well he stayed. It was interesting to me how well how well Prince stayed out of the press. But
Oh, yeah.
but he was fucking loved by so many people. That was
So I looked up some stuff on him. Just was kind of like wanted to find out what happened to him and what, because the only thing I've heard about him in the last couple of years has been the chemtrail thing, where he gets an interview and as soon as he gets on there, they're like, "So how's the tour going?" He's like, "Let me tell you about chemtrails." And he goes off. So that's kind of been negative for a while, but I learned something that I never knew about Prince, and I thought it was interesting, and hopefully somebody else didn't know this too, so they get it. You remember when he went by the artist formerly known as Prince?
Yeah.
And he went by the symbol?
yeah.
And everybody thought he had lost his goddamn mind. It turned out that he was in a contract dispute with the record label, and they were basically, you can't use the rights
To Prince?
Prince, like for these albums or whatever he was make. So to get out of it, he wasn't going to change his name, but by making himself a symbol, they had to refer to him as the artist formerly known as Prince, so it would still link it
Yeah.
basically to him. But as soon as the contract, as soon as that fight was over and he got out of the contract, he went back to being Prince. So it was never like this, I'm now a symbol. Like, he played it off, I guess, but there was a real reason for it.
I learned that like a month ago, and that was because I was wondering why the fuck FKA Twigs, like I was wondering what FKA stood for, and it's formerly known as. So her name is Twigs, but since somebody else had that name, she has to go by formerly known as Twigs to like avoid any goofy.
It's like, yeah, you're circumventing
Yeah. You
the
can't-
contract.
I guess that's the purpose of names of bands are getting real goofy too. Like they're getting real fucking long because like public domain doesn't kick in for too many years now, and there's only a finite number of fucking words. So now it's like a panic exclamation point at the disco. What in the fuck does that even mean, dude? A panic at the disco is the name of our band. Why? I thought you just told me a story. How fucking weird.
Can you imagine? Fast forward. I watched Idiocracy. I tried to watch it twice, going to sleep. I just put it on because I love that freaking movie.
That's real good.
And watching the intro where it's like they tear down the army facility and it says "Coming soon, Fuddpuckers," and then it's
Oh
like
my god,
Rudd
dude, that's my
Puckers.
favorite part of the movie, dude.
Buttfucker.
Fuddruckers is
There's little
turns into
kids in there.
Buttfuckers.
It's so perfect. Even though he could understand them, they thought he sounded pompous and faggy. That might be the last movie where they could just willy-nilly the word faggy
Yeah.
around like all the time.
We figured out what's wrong. You talk
Your
like a
shit's all
fag and your
fucked.
shit's all retarded.
Oh, wow. I forgot how good that movie was, and I've only made it halfway through it 2 nights in a row. But it's so good. I object. that if he ain't got no money to pay back to the hospital, then how's he gonna pay me back for my broken window? If there's anybody listening that has not seen that movie, please watch it. It is not a comedy. It's not fictional. It is a documentary sent back from the future.
Yeah, that's no
It's
shit.
for sure what's gonna happen.
It's yeah. Yep.
Like, shit's all retarded. Oh, well, before we transition out, I do have quite, like I said, quite a bit of game stuff. But before we transition out of news things, this is kind of a little half and half. So, as if you were the Uno winner of one of our giveaways, and everyone else should know that I, of course, get the Loot Crate sent here every month because it comes with tons of cool shit.
Yeah, it
But
does.
if you are
As soon as I get a job, I want
alien,
to pay for it.
right? If you're a fan of the Alien series, it's the 30th anniversary coming up, and Loot Crate is selling a separate box that you can get whether you're a subscriber or not. You just got to pay for the box. Even if you're a subscriber, you got to pay for it. But it's a massive thing, so I'll be picking one up. We'll probably get through it, get something really cool out of that because of the they're teaming up with the Fox 21 people to bring out some really cool content. So look for a giveaway around July for something out of that box. What we do want to do for that is you must be a subscriber, and then we'll throw up a deal on our Facebook page to go on and like it, and we'll show you what it's going to be, and then we'll do that giveaway again. But along with the Alien news there, I don't know if you know about this one, Tyler, but the Alien Covenant movie is going to be coming out August 2017.
Well,
They're doing another sequel.
when is that? I mean, like, what part of the timeline does it?
It's going to be now. Oh, it should be 30 years later, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
It's going to have Newt as the main female character. Remember, Newt was the little girl.
Which one does she show up in? Aliens? The second one?
I thought, yeah, because that's the one where they're on the big mining station.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Marines, like Hicks is my fucking jam. Like Bill Pullman and all them are there.
Mm-hmm.
The black, what was he, like a Marine sergeant or some shit that had the yellow shirt that said "I hate bugs" on the front of it or some shit like that. Those are some cool fucking movies.
Oh, dude, they're
Yeah,
the
what was
best.
his
That's
name?
one.
Fucking Bishop was in that one, wasn't he?
Yeah,
The android?
Bishop. Yeah,
Oh,
and
sorry.
Newt was that fucking super cute little girl that was in it, and you
Is he
never
there?
popped up. Well, if you remember it, she was like they dirtied her up,
Yeah, I'm just
and
kidding.
everyone fell in love with her.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Like there was Newt, and then they made like 2 or 3 more movies. No more Newt.
Well, no
So
more,
anyways.
no more good movies either. So.
Right. Just
Nah,
what was it?
they were enjoyable, but
Oh, I don't know. The next one was her in prison. That one was fucking horrible.
which 4 was Resurrection, right?
Yeah.
What was 3?
Yeah.
She was in
3 was the
prison?
prison. I don't even know, like where the premise.
Huh.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's the episode 2 of the Alien movies.
Episode 1, 2, and 3 of the Alien movies.
I watched episode 1, and episode 1 I can get through minus Jar Jar Binks.
Terrible. God
the-
damn it, dude.
It's the most racist thing I've ever seen.
Just seriously. Yeah, get your big flapping lips in here and start making goofy fucking noises.
It would have only been slightly worse if instead of like if he'd have put a pause after Master Jedi. So if he was like, "Oh yes, a Master Jedi," that would have been the only thing to make it slightly worse. And then God damn it, the CG was not ready.
No,
And so there's
that
a
was,
part-
that was a big thing.
you've got like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan sitting there talking to Jar Jar, and they're staring, like their eyes don't match up with Jar Jar's. Neither one of them look at like it looks like they're looking at a tennis ball.
Because what they're looking at is the eyes of the guy and then the eyes of the fucking head that the guy is wearing. And like there
Right.
was confusion during the making of that, like, where do you want us to look? So did you watch the making of that shit on it's on YouTube, and I think it's just episode 1. That motherfucker has got to be a nightmare to work for. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that he was creative and fucking smart and brilliant and came up with that Star Wars franchise. But praise fucking Zeus, somebody took that shit away from him. Because he is terrible. Fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
I just he had a winning formula, and I don't know why he decided to fuck with it so much. Like he always believed that he wasn't capable to make the movie he wanted to make. When in
Not with
all
that
reality, he was already making the movie that everyone else wanted.
Right.
So that's what Disney did. They went, okay, let's log on to name a Star Wars message board and read the comments. Oh, everybody wants physical props. Yep, we
And
could do that.
It's not even about like, I mean, granted, the CG was not there, like you said, with the episode 1, 2, and 3. It just wasn't. But that it just took the soul out of everything. Like there was no fucking, I don't know, there wasn't anything respectable about Star Wars. It wasn't what it used to be with a bunch of CG shit. Like the puppets were so much fucking cooler on so many different levels.
Well, it on site building the sets. It felt real because the actors played it like they were real. They weren't.
There was actual interaction.
Yeah, there was. They saw the aliens next to them, and so you believed that they believed they were there.
Yeah.
And there was never a point in episode 1 or 2. Episode 3 was a little bit better for me, but where the actors looked like they were actually there. There was never a time when I thought he felt like he was standing between laser beams of stuff and all that. Like I don't know.
I guess
Feeling
that's
is a big thing in the movies.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I should believe you're there and not have to imagine it, because that's what you had to do with episode 1. You had to imagine what it was like if they were actually there, because it was obvious that they were running around in a green room and then somebody put all this stuff in there, you know.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I guess
ones
that
are
was
good.
what Jungle Book did a really, really good job of, is like human interaction with imaginative creatures. I guess they did a really good job with that. I didn't see it, so it's all hearsay, but
I heard something on that the other day, actually, that it was a excellent reboot. Came back as PG voice acting, and it was supposed to be incredible. So
it looks
that might be
badass.
worth a check out. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Well, Tyler, are you prepared to dive into a little bit of gaming news?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Do you consider yourself a true gamer, Tyler?
Oh boy.
Like a true gaming enthusiast.
I'm very curious what the definition of gaming enthusiast is. I'll say yeah, sure. What am I lacking?
I say you're lacking commitment.
Okay.
And I have a story of a man that is truly committed
Oh boy.
to gaming. Anthony Sanders.
Is he related to Colonel Sanders?
No. Instead of being responsible for millions of deaths to high cholesterol, he's only responsible for one death.
Himself. Did
And
he?
here's where this is going to take a dark turn,
Did
and
he-
where everybody thought this was going to be an uplifting story about gamer dedication, it turns into murdering your own child. So, Anthony Sanders, the
Oh,
great
boy.
state of Texas, smothered his own goddamn kid because she interrupted him while he was playing video games.
Which
He
game?
doesn't have an alibi, doesn't say. It just said competitive PC gaming.
Oh, fucking Dota or League.
Yep.
I will bet all the money in my account right now, which is like $7, but I will bet that it's fucking I bet it's a MOBA. I'll just say MOBA.
Yeah.
I'll cheat and say MOBA.
This real waste of space as a human, apparently, just she bugged him, and so he just smothered the shit out of her
How
and
old
killed
was
her.
she?
I don't know, tiny, little, and he put her in bed, and then like went back to playing his game, and like the wife came home and was like, "Where are the kids?" And he's like, "She's asleep," and just kept playing. No effect. The little brother goes in the parents' room and is like, "Hey, like, I tried to wake her up," and they were like, "Just go to bed. Like, don't try to wake her up. She's probably tired." Found the kid later, dead, and it was like the mom calls 911. The dad's like, "I don't know what happened," and then they look at her like there's bite marks on the kid and like a bruise of a face, like a hand on her face, and he's like, "She interrupted me while I was playing video games, so I smushed her until she stopped breathing."
Holy
all right.
fuck, man. Shit like
so-
that like there doesn't need to be any court. There save some fucking taxpayer money. He doesn't need to sit through anything. There doesn't need to be a jury. Put a bullet in his fucking head and let's just go. Like cut the fat real quick.
Yeah.
And let's fucking go.
How do you not only okay? If he'd have just stuck to the I don't know what happened, it would have had to go to trial. You would have had to have tried to find it out. But no, dude's just like, well, she interrupted me while I was playing my video game.
Obviously he's not smart. Otherwise he wouldn't have just suffocated his fucking daughter. What a
Right,
pile of
and
shit.
to go along with, obviously this is a reoccurring pattern, right?
Anthony
and,
Sanders, he said, is his name?
Yeah, from Texas. So he has one other charge, and it was for choking his girlfriend, I guess pretty violently. And
Did she interrupt him during...
oh, here's the awesome part. That girlfriend, after the choking, ended up becoming Mrs. Sanders because she agreed to marry him and then give birth to his offspring. So while they're dating, his courting routine was to strangle her and then do whatever with her. I don't know. He strangled the shit out of her. Apparently it was bad enough that she didn't press charges, but it went to like a grand jury, but they didn't hear the case. Like it ended up getting dropped. But it was bad enough that they were like, no, it's not up to you whether or not you want to press charges, lady. Like she must have gone to the hospital, and because, you know, at a certain point they take it out of your hands. They're like, you're a dum-dum.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to do this for you.
Somebody has to pay for this. Well,
Yeah,
not somebody.
and-
This person has to pay for this.
Right. But because she refused to testify, and I guess it ended up getting dropped, and now this happens. It's like, what? What the fuck is wrong with people, man? But that was that. That
Oh.
was the.
That's what he looks like.
He looks. Hey, if you think of someone that plays internet video games all day long.
Sure. Yeah,
without a
he's that
job,
character
and
on
that's
South
it.
Park.
Right.
Texas father allegedly murdered 2-year-old daughter
Yeah. Too
for
nice.
interrupting computer game. Charge of daughters. Oh man.
So this guy better rot in a cage or
Fucking
whatever.
burn, dude.
Yeah, just the worst. But yeah, the guy just fucking interrupting my video games. So, as we tell you about all these nifty video games you could play, try to remember not to physically abuse your own children when you lose.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that.
I didn't
Just
think that was
don't have
necessary,
kids if that's like a potential fear of yours.
If
Jesus.
you're the guy that breaks televisions when you lose, or
If there's
It
any
ruined your
part
whole day.
of you in the back of your mind that goes, I mean, she probably shouldn't have been bothering him, then just don't have fucking kids. Just don't have kids. And you won't be a bad guy. It's that easy. Like, you can think about killing your kid all day long, as long as you just don't have kids.
As long as you just don't have
As long
any.
as you only think about killing your kids, which you don't have. Go get your fucking vasectomy done. Go get your tubes tied. Whatever. I don't know what it's called for transgender people. Get that shit taken care of and just don't fucking have kids.
You just went on a human version of Bob Barker right there.
Bob Barker.
Spay and neuter your pets today.
Oh, Bob Barker was promoting. Man.
Oh, you don't remember the Price is Right, dude?
Oh, I remember. Yeah, absolutely.
At the end, he'd always had that long ass microphone to go, remember to spay and neuter your pets today.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah,
I guess I never watched The Price is Right all the way to the end.
it was like his thing was spay and neuter your pets because the pet population was going rampant. And in the fucking 80s and shit, there was not anything else to care about. So there's like, it's probably the worst thing. Pets. But now that we are firmly planted inside the video game.
Yeah, here we are. Did you see fucking Johnny Manziel? Hold on. We have a couple things to
Johnny
talk
football?
about before we get into fucking video games, I guess. So, I thought I remember being in Ohio when all of this shit started going sideways. I thought this shit happened like way long ago, and they're talking like, is it just still going on? Is he just still a
So when we went to the game, he was just a bad quarterback, right? Like he still worked for Cleveland, but while we were there, he had jetted off to Las Vegas, and he was wearing the wig.
What?
Yeah, he
God damn, I didn't know about this.
dude, he got supposedly injured and wasn't going to play, but you still, per the contracts, have to show up on game day, and like I don't know all the rules of it, right? Not a
Okay.
big sports guy, but he had to be there, and he had to be there for practice and all this. But being Johnny Football, he said, "Fuck your face, I'm gonna go out to do some partying." So he goes to
Like
Las
you do.
Vegas. And he thinks if he puts a wig on and like a fake beard or a fake goatee that nobody would notice it was him. And for sure, people were like, Johnny Manziel, why are you wearing a wig? Like,
Don't talk to me.
so he got in trouble for that. And then there was already like some abuse allegation stuff. Well, then I guess he went down to Texas in January and choked the piss out of his girlfriend. So,
Didn't he like whoop her ass while they were driving down the road in his GTR while we were in Cleveland? Because I remember him being on the news that one day when we were sitting at the Moose Knuckle, and there was like a dozen cop cars surrounded his white Nissan GTR, and he was he was either drunk or spun up on coke or both, I guess, is definitely an option. And he had laid one heavy on his girlfriend. Goddamn microphone just cut out. But yeah, he had hit his girlfriend.
yeah, and then I don't know if the January thing was a separate deal or if that's when it went to court. I don't know. But it said the Supreme Court of Texas is now hearing the case, so he was indicted on the charges. And maybe that was it. Maybe it did happen while we were there, and now he's just being indicted. But in January or March, I thought it was March, he was released from Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
So Johnny Football is now Johnny got to get a regular job or go to prison because
Hopefully saved us some of that fucking NFL money.
from all 2 years.
Sure.
that's-
I mean, fuck, that's more money than I'll make in my life, but hey.
It's so incredible to me that some of these guys that are supposed to be the biggest hits show up and just fizzle out. Like,
Yeah. It's like that weird, I hate to talk about it because I don't know much about it, but like that they're trying to do like scientific research on who will make it through SF training or SEAL training or what have you. But really there's this like, there's no predicting fucking anything whatsoever.
Oh, no.
Because sometimes the least likely person makes it, and sometimes the most likely person to make it fucking drops out.
So when I was in the Army, I had two guys. Well, I had a bunch of people I knew went and left to go to selection to try to do SF.
Yeah.
But I remember a Staff Sergeant Cole that was, I mean, all-American, all-star. Like, dude was 6'2", probably, 10% or less body fat, could run vertical up the side of a building. Like, the dude was a
Forever.
monster. And he is now permanently disqualified from going because the first time he broke an ankle and the second time he dropped out on a road march, just like heat exhaustion. Cannot be SF now, didn't make it. Then I was at Fort Carson, and one of the privates there, might have been a specialist, I don't remember the guy at the time, pretty forgettable dude, was like kind of overweight, like wasn't really good at PT, and for whatever reason was like, I'm going to go SF. So he starts ruck marching in the mornings and like after work and stuff. Like he did put in the training.
Sure.
But he was not smart. He wasn't very athletically inept. Like he was kind of inept at it. He was just not. It wasn't what you would think when you saw SF. So the guy shows back up, and a couple other people went with him, and they all failed. And he comes back, and he's like, got all his gear out front. And I was like, "Oh, what's up, dude? I was like, did you get run off or whatever?" And he's like, "No, I made it." I'm like, you what? He's like, "Yeah, I got selected, so I got to go off to their like 6-month training and shit." So he totally made it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to group now, so I got to turn in all my gear." Congratulations. I was like, "Have fucking fun."
Did not prepare a speech for this. Way to go.
I was on my way over here to make fun of you. I don't know what to do now.
All I have is a fucking wow. That's about it.
Yep. So yeah, there's no predicting that, and there's no predicting the football guys, because guys that are mediocre in college will sometimes go on to be the greatest NFL players, and then you get Johnny Football or Tim Tebow or Darren McFadden. He was from Arkansas, supposed to be insanely good. He ended up going to the Raiders, and nobody ever heard from him again. These guys.
That's just Oakland.
Yeah, but it's. I think some of it is because of that. Like they number one draft picks always go to shitty teams.
It's a weird thing. It makes sense, right? You're supposed to be, because if they went to the good teams, then, I don't even, can we just not talk about the draft?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Can we just not talk about this football? Okay, let's just jump to Mr. fucking the notorious Conor McGregor, who
retired and then didn't retire.
But he came out and he said that he retired
Right.
because, did you listen to the Fighter and the Kid episode with Brendan Schaub talking about his opinions on McGregor retiring?
I listened to the Rogan podcast that had him on it that talked about it.
I imagine he talked about the same shit. But it was in Conor's defense, like there's he shouldn't have to fly all the way to where was it, like Texas or some shit like that, for a press conference.
It was a worldwide press conference tour. They
Yeah.
were going to just start flying him all over.
It's
Just for anybody that has no clue what we started talking about here, Conor McGregor was pulled from UFC 200 because he refused to do all of the press tours. And his first statement was, I get paid to fight, and as far as I can tell, I've never been paid to do press conferences, even though it's in his contract. That got him pulled from UFC 200, and then he went on Twitter to say, retiring early, thanks for all the money, I'm out.
yeah.
That is pretty much it.
Yeah, because
And now
140
that's-
characters is 140
Pretty quick.
characters. You gotta slim that down quite a bit.
You gotta throw a couple hashtags in there too. So that's where we're at. And now he's not retired.
But he said his post said back on the card for UFC 200 like thanks for doing this for the fans or some shit like that. And then Dana White responded, we made no deal. Like, according to Dana White, there was no deal that was made, and he's not back on UFC 200. So I don't know if it's just like him trying to like just fucking just pour more gasoline onto this already pretty fucking large fire to try and get like more fucking hype out, because he is a fucking hype man for sure. Like, that's what the dude, that's why he's an excellent fighter. And what does he say? Whoops people's asses and he dresses nice. It's what I do. Like, he just hypes everything up so fucking much. Nick Diaz just ran to fucking Mexico. He's like, oh, cool. Well, I'm done too. I'm going to go get hella fucked up. And
yeah. Well, Schaub was talking about it, and I think he was 100% right on this, that Conor McGregor knows that his Twitter account can generate more views and a further reach than all of the advertising and all of the interviews that the UFC could ever drum up.
yeah.
Like, he knows that by putting one tweet out, that the reaction will be so much greater than Dana White going on ESPN. So he comes on and goes, you know, I retire. And then Dana White's got to spend the next 2 weeks answering questions on it to lower ratings. But everyone still believes that he retired because 3 times more people saw it.
Yeah.
And then he comes on and goes, I'm back on the card because that, you know, thanks for doing this for the fans and getting back on my side. Dana White's just sitting there like, what the fuck is he talking about? Well,
Meanwhile,
now it's just pouring money over for wanting to see this fight now. And now Dana White's going to be dealing with, so what deal did you make? And he's like, I didn't make any fucking deal. And that's just going to keep him occupied on talking about nothing except for Conor McGregor, when he should be trying, or needs to be, I'm sure he wants to be, trying to focus on promoting whatever fight that he put in its place. So whatever fight that he put in place of Conor McGregor's fight now has zero attention. No one gives a shit.
yeah. I think who was on that? I don't even know who else was on that card. I feel like I want to say Misha Tate was on that card, but I don't remember.
You know, when McGregor's on the card, that's it.
Yeah.
And he knows that his what did they do? He had like the most Twitter followers of any professional athlete. Like, he had more than LeBron
I heard something
James.
similar to that. Like, that was like it sounds so stupid to say, but it's like the largest tweet from an athlete ever was like the amount of retweets and the amount of shares and all that shit, or that is the same thing.
Yeah,
Likes,
it
all
was
that stuff.
what was it? It was the day after or something from the Kobe Bryant retirement.
Yeah,
and it
was like
smoked it.
It was like 48 hours. It was like 2 days after the Kobe Bryant thing, and it was already as many, if not more, fucking retweets than.
Yeah, he completely blew the Kobe Bryant retirement tweets out of the water with his fake retirement tweet.
I can't blame him though, man. Like fuck that amount of traveling. Like, he talks about how, I think somebody made reference, like Dana White or some shit. We can blow through this pretty quick. I'll shut the fuck up about it. But they were talking about how everybody else showed up to it. A lot of the other guys live like pretty fucking close, comparatively, pretty fucking close. I mean, there may be a few Brazilian dudes that have to fly up, sure. That
How many
fucking sucks for them too.
How many do you think they have to do?
Well, I mean,
Like,
shouldn't
compared
they,
to the one they want Conor to do, because this isn't one. They made it sound like he blew off the one, but he didn't want to do the tour. He said, I need to train for this fight.
right?
Like, and he even supposedly told Dana, I have to win this fight or I disappear. Like,
Yeah.
you can't lose 2 in a row, or he turns into freaking the has-been, you know, that just talked a bunch of, because nobody wants to hear a guy talk a bunch of shit that can't back it up.
Sure.
because now he's gonna come up and be like, and they're just gonna go, shut up.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
Shut your mouth.
I'll call fucking Nate and get him to come whoop your ass again. Like it's so he wants to come in and dominate this fight.
Right. Which is
And-
he's paid to fucking fight, like he said. Let him train. I guess that was another thing that Schaub talked about with the difference between what's his nuts from the NFL and Dana White as a fight promoter. Dana White is a fight promoter. He isn't the fucking he is the head of the UFC.
Not a commissioner, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a fucking promoter. So his priorities are so much more fucking different, and with people, I'm just stealing shit out of fucking Schaub's podcast, but like with people literally following him around, he's trying to be famous and run the UFC, and it's just not. It's such a weird combination. Like he's not a businessman. He's like a fucking.
He's a Don King
fucking fight
that
promoter.
just got super popular.
Yeah.
But he's done a fantastic job. Not taking anything away from it. The UFC is the most entertaining sport right now.
I agree.
But they have gone. We've talked about it on other podcasts where we talked about how his mainstreaming of the UFC was such a crazy endeavor, and it's working. The UFC is, I would say, becoming as household as boxing was, even though it's so insanely violent compared. I mean, if people are buying these pay-per-views and they're sitting down at family events to watch someone beat someone within an inch of their life.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty barbaric. But he's done a good enough job to make it not seem taboo anymore.
Definitely. And I think what needs to go hand in hand with like the whole Reebok sponsorship thing and like cleaning up all the uniforms and shit like that is what everybody else has been talking about, and that's I don't like unions, but I think a fighters union needs to be made. Otherwise those guys are just, because you took so much money away from those dudes when the Reebok deal went into place that it's not worth it for those dudes to do what they do for that. I mean, unless they're going to go back to their fucking mud hut down in whatever South American country.
Did you see who Mighty Mouse is supposed to fight next?
I don't know. He just fought on Saturday, but I don't know who he fights.
He won that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch it, and if he won that, I guess or whether he won or lost, it matter. His next fight is supposed to be the winner of the Ultimate Fighter. Like, there's nobody left for him to fight. You got to give him. Like, he needed to lose this last one, so there was some competition there.
Hold on.
So you could
is it the winner of the coaches from the Ultimate Fighter or the winner of the contestants of the Ultimate Fighter?
I think it's the contestants, right? Who's the...
Because the coaches fight at the end of Tough. The coaches fight, whoever the two, like the red coach and the blue coach, they fight each other. So the coaches are always the same weight class as like each other, and then the contestants are like a varying range of weight classes.
No, I think it's the winner.
That'd be fucking brutal, dude.
Fighter.
Trial by fire. Welcome to the UFC. Go fight him, because he's
Mighty Mouse
beat literally everyone else.
Yeah. So we got to give him you because you're the only new face that he hasn't beaten into the mat.
It's gonna turn into bum fights for Demetrius Johnson. They just like walk him down the street and it's like, hey, would you fight this guy for like a lot of money? They're like, oh, fuck it, sure. He's a bunk, bunk, bunk. All right. And he's still the title holder. He's just gonna be like 90 one day, still doing it. Super weird. John Jones is back. Had his first fight on Saturday, and what a surprise! Win. Yeah. What? He won? Wow.
What? Kimbo Slice. I finally found out what happened to Kimbo Slice. Dude is now in the circuit, bear boxing circuit.
Whoa, hold
Bare
on.
bare knuckle
Oh,
fighting
bare
people
knuckle. I
again.
thought you said bear boxing, and my
Bear
brain
boxing,
went two
naked
fucking
boxing,
directions at
yeah.
the same time. Is he fighting bears like, "Rawr," or is he at like the fucking gay bar fighting bears?
That would be incredible.
Didn't even
if
think
it's
about
just
bare
him
knuckle boxing.
down in Alabama, just wailing on them, wailing on bears.
Dicks out.
No, no, he's bare knuckle boxing because they were like the bare knuckle. Look up like the bare knuckle world champion. It's in like somebody's garage. It's so janky, but these two guys go at it, and one guy wins, and he comes up and he's like, I'm ready for you, Kimbo. You want to come try to take my title, like full on? And it's like a dude with like his cell phone, like interviewing him. It's fucking bizarre.
God damn it.
So apparently, there's a full underground championship of bare knuckle boxing, and Kimbo is
Yeah,
in it.
shit's really blowing up for him after he beat Ken Shamrock. What? How? That was like 3 months ago, 2 months ago.
He went over to Pride or something? Where did he go?
I went to Bellator MMA.
Bellator. Bellator's bringing out kickboxing. That's going to be interesting.
Let's talk about fucking video games, man.
Yeah. Hour and one in.
Jesus,
a lot of-
Louises.
Well, that was all the news has been freaking, not just like reported news, but all of the good stuff has been kind of pop culture-y.
Everybody died. All the athletes retired. There's no one to look up to anymore. Moving on.
Moving on. Oh, Gears of War 4 beta live today on Xbox One. So I'll have to boot up the Xbox and play it.
Yeah, you gotta let me know how that is.
Dust her off.
So is that going to be available on the fucking Windows Store then?
It says right now that the beta is only available for Xbox One.
Yeah. Well, I mean full game, right? Like that's what they're
That's supposed to be the deal.
doing. Word. All right. Sweet. Still don't have to get
Yeah.
an Xbox One. Good deal.
Right. No, you don't have to buy any consoles anymore. Turns out they died. They didn't
no
make
shit. It's all over now.
it. It's all ogre now. Uncharted 4. I think this is old news, but just in case anybody didn't catch it and you were really looking forward to A Thief's End releasing today, it got pushed to May 10th.
Was it
So,
supposed to release today?
Yeah, the original release date was April 26th.
Oh, okay.
And they pushed it to May 30th, but they pushed it a while back. But that was the release date is gone. The game looks really good. It's I think it's a PlayStation only.
Yeah.
But I was watching some PAX coverage on it, and it looked really good.
Did you follow PAX at all?
Not enough. I'm just picking up some of the preview and gameplay stuff now.
I looked and I wasn't. I looked and I listened and I dug, and it didn't seem like there was much. It seems like the huge focus right now with these expos is like MLG shit. And I don't even know what term to call it at this point, but with Twitch, with all the live streaming, with like tournaments and all that shit, like that's what it seems like the focus for.
Yeah, professional gaming.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as heavy on the actual video games. It's just about who's playing them. It's a weird.
Who's still playing Counter-Strike 20 years later?
Their fucking microtransactions are what rekindled that game. CS:GO was starting to peter off, and then they brought in fucking gold AK-47s, and everybody's like, "Puh, obviously this is the best game. See you fuckers later." Going back to Counter-Strike. But whatever. It's reliable. It's always Counter-Strike. So it's like watching a fucking Tom Cruise movie. You're never going to be like surprised. So if that's what you're into.
Play with a bunch of Russians.
Yeah. Plenty of those.
Heroes of the Storm had a big update go live today. No, tomorrow. It goes live tomorrow. And we haven't talked about Heroes of the Storm in a while, so I wrote a bunch of stuff down.
Neat.
Yep, it's a balance update for players. So a couple guys got upgrades, a couple guys got fucking nerfed up, man. Nazebo got neutered.
Really?
Yeah, they dropped him down from 274 basic attack hit points to 219. Left everything basically the same, and then removed one of his special abilities.
Huh.
So he got nothing new and just got hacked away on
Yeah,
hit points.
just got a nerf. That's interesting. I mean, I haven't played in a while. I just don't remember Nazebo being like,
Overly powerful.
yeah, like a serious threat. He was an annoyance, but
Now, would you consider the Butcher to be overly powerful already?
I mean, the last time I don't mean I don't know what patches have gone on since the last time that I've played. So I really don't know who has gotten like nerfed or who's gotten fucking beefed up in the last.
This is the only update that I
months.
know of to these guys. Because I've played some, but I always thought the Butcher was pretty strong in his own.
He's pretty gnarly, yeah.
He didn't get nerfed. The guy got fucking supersized. So I don't know. Like, I thought he was a strong character. The dev actually they put a note in there that they believed that he was too weak and there was too many people finding ways to destroy him. So they bumped everything up and lowered his cooldowns by like 10% or better. So like his 35-second cooldowns dropped down to like 25-second cooldowns. His hit points went up across the board.
Well, that'd only be like a 3 point change. 10% from 35 would be like a 3.25 of a second.
Oh, well, that his dropped from 35 seconds down to some of them were high 20 or for 30 and some of them were 25-second cooldowns. And like I said, hit points and damage for special abilities all went up. Nothing went down for the Butcher. So if you want to play
he
him,
was like super. Man, I wish I had played.
he had
this
that
more
chain
recently.
thing. Like
yeah,
he was a fucking monster.
and he had that sprint that would. He had that sprint, and what else did he have? It just seemed like he was like a short. I guess like glass cannon would be a safe term to use for him. Like once he ran out of his abilities, he wasn't shit. Like his normal attack damage wasn't enough to carry him through a fight. Whereas somebody's defense could be strong enough to withstand all of his initial onslaught and then just
I found if
fucking
you
pick
put
him
if you
apart.
put Butcher, bring him in late to the fight.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of those guys too.
And when people bail and try to run and their health is low, he can grab them and bring them back and charge guys down.
Yeah.
He could finish off a lot of people that thought they could get away.
Yep. Definitely.
So I thought he was a good character on his own. They thought he just wasn't strong enough. So now you may want to go back and try playing him. If you thought he was good before, he might be a fucking beast now. Murky's eggs. I haven't played with Tracer. That was the last addition to the lineup, I guess.
That was just like last week, right?
Yeah. Tracer used to be when you use their that melee ability that would show like damaged player or whatever. Murky's eggs would show up if you killed Murky with that Tracer ability.
Yeah.
It would show his eggs, and I guess they felt that was too
Poor
giving,
Murky.
so they
poor
took that
fucking
away.
Murky.
I hate that fucking character.
Why? Because he's just fucking. He's omnipotent.
Just-
like he is
just
everywhere at once. And
annoying.
he's so fucking irritating.
And he's worth like what, a third of a kill,
A quarter.
a quarter of a kill. Like. The big one, I guess, was Rexar. Rexar got quite a bit of changes. His attack range went up 22%. His health increased from 1643 to 1725. They removed the throwing axes ability, but they lowered all of his cooldowns, some by as much as 10 seconds.
Wow.
So they said that Rexar nobody was playing him, basically.
I
And
got
so
him
now they've
right
made
when he
him.
came out, and I was just not impressed by his. I don't know. He was supposed to be like a tank, and he was just. He wasn't really that, and he didn't have enough damage to fucking substitute another class, and it was just like he just wasn't. He was so fucking middle of the road that he had
Right.
nothing that stood out.
So they said that they are going to try to go back and do an entire revamp of Rexar. In the meantime, they've done this in hopes that it will stir up a little bit of enthusiasm to play. So maybe check out Rexar, see if he's any good now.
Balance is always an interesting thing. I'm so be curious to hear how long those guys talk about what they're going to do with what characters and how, and if they know what impacts that's going to have on other characters. Because like you adjust one little thing on one character, and that might completely fucking negate some weird character that you didn't even consider. Like it might make fucking Tyrael just utterly useless in a fight against the Butcher now because the Butcher's cooldowns are shorter. So Tyrael's like sword throwing thing is fucking pointless or whatever
Right.
the fuck. That's all just talking out of me rump. But
No, but it's a good point. It's the same thing with what's her name? The Ghost.
Nova,
Nova. If they nerfed Nova enough, I think it would change completely how that game is played. Because when she is in certain fights, I can
I wish they
get
would
in
just
matches
take her
with
out of the game.
yeah, like I can get into matches with Nova and just hate the game.
Yeah.
So that's one character. You could change that one character, and it might change my entire outlook on the game. Like, I fucking hate her. But some people like playing with it. If you like to join a game and hide a bunch and not really do any significant damage, but just annoy everyone.
It's such a weird, I don't know. That strange dynamic goes across all the MOBAs with there's characters that like it's like 3 steps to victory. It's like you have your let me see if I can get this right. I probably fucking won't. Fortunately, we don't have enough viewers to worry about getting like facts correct, so that's neat. But like you have your guys that kick off fights, like your tanks that are like instigators, somebody that can charge into a fight and just like be very fucking like physically large. So
Yeah.
God, who's big in that game? The what's his
Diablo.
nuts? The Abomination. Diablo. Like physically imposing, and it just like he catches your eye. It makes you want to fight him. Meanwhile, all of his asshole teammates are coming out of the bushes to come throw rocks and lightning bolts at you. And
Just to add on to
then-
the look at me thing, Asmodon now has a fucking basketball jersey
yeah,
and throws flaming basketballs for
Asmo
limited
Dunk,
times.
I think is what they called this fucking some dumb shit like that.
Yeah, Asmodunk.
So it's like you have your instigator, the guy who starts the fights, and then you have the guys that show up and do damage, and then you have your cunt, as I like to call her, fucking Nova or Zeratul, that just show up to just finish it and then disappear again. Like you just have your closers that show up and just pick them off the sides so the rest of the group can stay focused on what is assuming to be what I'm assuming would be in this situation, like a team fight.
And I don't mind that dynamic, except for Nova doesn't irritate me as much when they're on the other team as they do when they're on mine.
Exactly. That's my issue with them, is because
Like,
when you're
stay and fight. Help just a minute.
Yeah.
Like, just give me enough time to get out. You have full health.
Yep.
Give me enough time to get away, and they never do.
Yep.
They show up and they go, oh, there's more than 3 people. I can't win this. And then they
Yep.
disappear.
Yeah, it's. I never have an issue with Zeratul or Nova, like you just said, on my team or on the opposing team. The issue is, and that's that fucking thing. Like you can get a group of 4 or 5 people, get a group of 5 people that you know, like friends. We get it, dude. You fucking vape, and you just disappeared like Batman in a cloud of smoke.
It'd have been better if I wasn't here.
Like you can run with a group of 5 people and you can communicate with somebody and it works. But when you're working in fucking pickup groups, it's just not. It just doesn't work. It's every man for himself and it's pure fucking chaos. But whatever.
But they of course didn't do anything with her. So
Anything with
if
what?
you are a Nova player,
Oh,
she's still Nova.
yeah, still Nova. What have you been playing? So you've been playing some fucking Darksiders.
Yeah, Darksiders 2, man, went on sale. Castlevania, I don't know if you
Super
ever played
cheap.
that one,
Yeah.
the Lords of Shadow.
Yeah.
It's 75% off. I never played that
It's
one.
like $4. I played the first one not all the way through though. I think it's at my parents' house in Colorado on the Xbox. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I was going to say the first Castlevania is like NES. So,
Yeah.
but the I didn't know that this was a series, I guess. The Lords of Shadow is like
Mhm.
a sequel to something.
I think there's 2 of them. Yeah, there was like Castlevania and then I think it was just Castlevania and then there was like Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Some shit like that, or maybe I'm just making shit up.
It's hard to keep up. There's the Castlevania 64. There's
Ooh, that was
Castlevania
probably
for-
the best one ever made.
Yeah, but it's way off. Darksiders 2 is it's all the fun of Darksiders with a new character. I like the story on those are kind of cool.
I
It's
think
kinda
the
cool to run
stories are
through.
badass.
Yeah,
I
the narration's really good in it.
The difference between those 2 games is very strange to me, and it took me a minute to get, because I went into Darksiders 2 expecting, oh, it's this Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and then Lords of Shadow 2 are the 2 current Castlevanias. But like I went into Darksiders 2 expecting more of Darksiders, and it was way more RPG-esque in that like you have to pick up items and you have gear and all of that shit. Like the first one just played like God of War, whereas this
Right.
one's playing like fucking third person Diablo.
Yeah, I mean it's still got the God of War stuff. You know, you're still having to do the puzzle Prince of Persia style
Yeah.
to get through everything. But yeah, gear's a big part of it.
I'm so fucking tired of gear. I'm so fucking tired of gear, dude. I am so fucking tired of playing these games that just like by the end of it, like your fucking character is just sitting there in a mountain of fucking gloves and helmets and like just your fucking stupid eyes are poking out. It's like, well, which one do I fucking wear? And it's so stupid. Like, maybe we've talked about this before, but I don't. I can't anymore. I don't have the fucking time.
I live for collectibles.
Not in a game. I'll collect
I
the shit out of
like-
some stuff, but I don't give a fuck about game armor items that are like, well, it's 1% less to this and 10% to this, unless it's like a blatant like this is much better. Fucking garbage. All of it. It's all going to the trash can. Fuck it all.
Yeah, I do. I do not like that when I find a. And Darksiders is real bad about this. I'll kill a run-of-the-mill minion, like one of those hellhound-looking things, and pick up a set of gear. And then I'll finish that entire mission. Like, beat the boss at the end, get my glorious reward, and it won't be as good as what I picked up at the beginning of the mission out of that piece of shit thing that ran by and I killed it. Like one whack, and it dropped something. I'm like, oh, cool. Oh, this is better than what I had. And I'll use it. And then you kill the boss, and it's like 50 or 60 points below that piece. What? It should never go backwards. Like, I should always if I complete a mission, I should get something better than what I had.
Yeah,
It
the
doesn't seem-
randomization's is so fucking odd.
Like one of the very early on in the games, one of the size that I picked up has been better than everything else I've picked up. Like I got a hammer that has shock value,
Yeah.
and the damage with the shock added, and it gets you pick up extra whatever the points are to make you go Reaper. That is all
okay.
better than like 2 or 3 of the subsequent secondary weapons that I found. I shouldn't just be hunting items and then throwing them away as soon as I get them. Like it should be an upgrade. Come on. Upgrade spelled with 2 D's for a double dose of pimping. But
That was like the main weapon through that is the scythe, though, right? Like you get other stuff to do other things, but the scythe is still like your primary.
that's your primary number 1 weapon. That upgrades throughout the game, so you can get ones that do different things, whatever, but it's always the scythe. And then the secondary is either like a hammer or the gloves or what else can there be? An axe. There's a giant axe, and you can pick up, I think it's those 3 or 4 in a rotation. So you might get a set of gloves that are super fast, and they're normally like your fast damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much like the scythe for me. Like it's that real quick. I mean, the game's a button masher, right? Like as
Yeah,
long as you
definitely.
can keep hitting the guy,
Yeah,
the combo breaker, like
Right.
It just keeps. You'll hit a guy 98 times or whatever.
just, yeah,
So
it's a 3D beat 'em up.
yeah, it's fun. I like doing it. I like jumping and hitting the guy, and then you switch over and you can bring the hammer down on him. I like using a slow secondary because if I'm going to just be rapidly hitting you, there's no reason for me to also rapidly hit you with my secondary.
With something that looks a little bit different.
A little bit different, but basically the same damage. Whereas if I have the hammer, I can jump in and hit you with because his size split, so he has 2.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like the big Reaper pole. And so you can start hacking him up and jump and do backflips and kick him up in the air, and then you can hold Y, and he'll bring out that hammer like full charge, and you can just destroy like 2 or 3 guys
Yeah.
in one hit. That's satisfying to blow them all up.
Fuck yeah.
Whereas if you've got the secondary that's also a fast action, it's just more
Just more kung
just
fu.
more hitting. Just pow, 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 pow. But story's good on it. That's pretty much all I've been playing. I've been playing was it Starview Valley? a
Stardew
little
Valley.
bit. Yeah.
We're on middle of fall of year 2, and we just got our greenhouse built last night. And you do that by finishing one of the bundles in the fucking community center. So we have 2 bundles left in the community center, and then we're done with that thing. But one of them is the fishing one, and the fishing mini game is so fucking hard, dude.
Trying to keep that little green bar over the fish.
Yeah. I don't even know how to explain it. The fish does whatever the fuck it wants, and you need to move that bar to where the fish is at, but the fish moves like quickly and accurately, and your bar is sluggish and fucking stupid.
Yeah, you just tap it.
Yeah.
So like that's the only way I've kept it steady. Because if you hold it, it'll go like slow and then fast.
Just rocket to the top
Yeah,
and then
see, I gotta,
bounce
like,
off
just-
the top.
Yeah, it's just gotta tap it. And I've yet to be able to get one of the present packages. So that if you haven't played the game, it's a little like a bar, and there's a little picture of a fish in it, and it bounces up and down inside the bar, and then you have a small green bar inside of that. And by pressing A or whatever if you're using keyboard, I'm sure it's something else. You keep the fish who bounces up and down inside this little bar. Well, every now and then you'll catch a fish and start doing it, and then like a present box will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
If the green bar is over the fish, a little meter goes up, and when the meter gets full, then you have the fish. If your green bar is outside of it, it drops rapidly.
Yep.
Like if you're not on him, it goes down. But I guess you have to get the green bar over the present long enough that it opens, and then you got to go back to the fish
Yeah, and catch it.
and catch it, or you don't get it.
You don't
Like you
get
said,
either.
Insanely
you
hard to
fucking-
do.
I've gotten it to where it's almost not even worth it going for the treasures at a certain point. Like, we have fucking fished. I'm surprised there's any fish besides the 3 fish that I haven't caught in the fucking game just left in the rivers, lakes, and ocean. So, and you just reach a point where the treasure chests aren't even worth it. Like, you just build your fish bar up and then leave the fish alone for a second, float over the chest, because it goes a lot quicker on the chest than it does the fish, and then drop back down. And it's typically pretty easy to do with, like, sardines, because sardines stay, like, right at the bottom, or, like, anchovies or some shit like that, chubs, breams, but yeah, I have the fishing one, and I have to catch... They'll pop up, and the fish icon will look different. It looks like a fish wearing a yellow hard hat. And they go bananas, dude. They just start zipping up and down, and they just know where your bar is at, and they just don't go there. Like, it fucking feels like they're outside of the screen, just like, just like avoiding your fucking sweet fishing skills. But I have a trapper lure now, so the fish bar drops. This probably sounds so fucking confusing to somebody listening to this, but like the capture bar drops slower now when the fish is obviously
that meter that you got to fill just falls. It loses its green slower.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have the final fishing rod, or what I think is a final fishing rod. We have the iridium rod, and then we have tackle on it and bait. So
That's
fucking-
pretty cool.
fucking fishing,
This
man.
game, again, I made fun of you for playing it, and now Melanie makes fun of me for playing it.
It's just good. Yeah.
I was sitting there, and she's like, you're playing Farmville," and I was like, no, I get to like build structures, and she was like, "That's Farmville," and I was like, yeah, but I got to go like do this fishing thing. She was like, "You're just playing Farmville." I was like, I can't explain.
Farmville wasn't the first, so she can go fuck herself.
This is it's good though. I like the game. It's got I like that I paid for it so I don't have to deal with in-app purchases.
Yeah. It's a game.
It's just
it's
the
not
game.
a fucking money-making
That's-
scheme.
Relieving. I forgot how beaten down by in-app purchases I've been, because this is definitely a game that could have come out free and made a ton of money with in-app purchases.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do it. They were like, "Pay us $14 and here's the game. Here's everything. Every bait and tackle, every item you need is just here."
Yeah.
There's no, you can only play for 30 minutes a day before you have to wait, but
Wouldn't
you can
that
buy
be some
more
shit?
time.
Like, if your energy bar reached bottom and it's like, well, that's it. You have to wait 15 hours for full energy now.
Oh, it's fully set up for in-app purchases.
Oh yeah. I
It
mean,
just
that's
isn't.
how Harvest Moon was it's just very, very, very similar to Stardew Valley. And somebody just took that idea and turned it into a fucking pay to play game. You can call it free to play in-app purchases. That's fucking pay to play. If a clock goes off and you're like, well, I can't play anymore unless I pay to play it, that's a fucking pay to play game.
Right. And this one, they just didn't, like, okay, we'll put out a price tag of $14 and see where we hit. And I can lose hours in that game.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Melissa and I sat on the couch for every bit of 10 hours on Sunday playing fucking Stardew Valley. That's it. We just switched the controller back and forth. What do you want to do now? Plant pumpkins. Okay. And that was it. It's fucking it.
You could go outside and garden, but why when you can do it on a 4K monitor?
Right, I live in a city, so I'm just going to go ahead
Yeah.
and not do that.
Yeah.
Star Fox Zero came out.
Did you get it yet?
I will never. It fucking Giant Bomb gave it a whopping fucking 2 out of 5 stars. It's got
no.
decent reviews on Metacritic. Last I look, it had like a 70 77, but it I looked at what Giant Bomb had to say about it, and I looked at what Game Informer had to say about it, and it's just no one's impressed by it whatsoever. It's too little, too late. It's got a 71 right now on Metacritic.
That sucks, man. I thought that game might be good. It might have been a savior for that. I love Star Fox. I love Star Fox 64. I mean,
Yeah, that's that shit. But
is it that hard just to make that game but new?
I was talking to Melissa about it, and well, I was like talking at Melissa because she really doesn't give a fuck about like video games and stuff like that. But Nintendo is George Lucas at this point, and all they can fucking get right is Mario. So they need to take their games that people want to see more of, their Metroids, their Star Foxes, and fucking give them to somebody else. Somebody who actually appreciates the franchise, because they clearly fucking don't. Somebody else needs to make the fucking games, because what they make is garbage.
Giving them to a fan or a company that is a fan, I should say. Don't just give it to the fans. They'll pick that up. But the same way that that they've done with Star Wars, where as someone that appreciated and could say, look, as a fan and as hearing what the fans have to say, this is all they want. It's very simple. They want Star Fox as Star Fox new. Give me new graphics, new worlds, new missions, but keep that same formula. I want it running down that racetrack of a linear play. Yeah, that's what it is. It was a rail shooter, and it did it really, really well. Your boss fights turned into how fucking cool was it when your boss fights turned into the open space 3D? Where you could fly around and come back, and then it went back to rails. That was a cool concept in the day when it came out.
If I had kids and I had to explain Star Fox to them, I would just tell them that it was an over fucking hyped on rail shooter. I'll be completely honest, dude, and just say that it wasn't as good as everybody made it out to be. And I'm not just saying that in because Star Fox Zero is out. It's just, I don't know, even back on 64 when it came out and everybody was shitting their pants about it, it wasn't impressive. Nothing about it was fucking groundbreaking at all.
What other rail game did that, though?
What other rail shooter?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a rail shooter. That's all it is.
But every boss battle, besides Pick Your Own Lane, which for the time was new.
I remember one area in Star Fox where the area opened up, and that's when you had to fight like what were those guys called? It was like another group of fighter pilots, right?
Oh, the area opens for every boss battle.
But not really. It just turns into like an open area that you're still just flying straight forward in. No,
the boss would be traveling in the 3D space, and you could fly around him, backwards, left, right. It would go from you flying on a rail to where you couldn't turn around to then you would go in and it would go changing to all range mode, and then you could fly everywhere. You didn't have to stick to the one direction.
The Andros fight wasn't like that. The final boss fight for 64, he didn't. That wasn't.
No, the final one I guess was still rails, but like the giant monkey dude, when you did the space battle with the opposing starships, was like that. But it would do the announcement. It would do that now entering all range mode.
Yeah,
and then you were allowed
to
circle.
An extra wing would grow out of your
right.
R-wing.
It would do the X-wing thing where
yeah,
you would change. But then it also had where if you completed the missions a certain way, you could go 3 different paths and a variation of those paths.
But that's the same exact thing that they did with Zero, and it took 2 hours to finish it. And it's not an altering in fucking story or anything like that. It's nothing fucking different. It's
just different planets.
This place is green instead of fucking purple.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the Star Fox 64. I thought the gameplay was it was always a replayable game. Like I can go pick it up now and enjoy playing it. Same like
Sure.
Mario or something. It was the replay factor was great.
Yeah, and it was quick too. I mean, I can see why people liked it. It wasn't. It was just another fucking game to me. It wasn't as good as a dozen other games that came out for the 64, obviously, but I don't know. That's just like my opinion, man. I think he
that,
serves a better purpose on Smash Brothers than he does on. I think the lore behind Star Fox is potentially way fucking cooler than they will ever put into these games. But I don't think that fans want to see that. But I don't know. I don't know. You know, they cut their legs off and give them robot legs for when they're flying their R wings and they're doing like barrel rolls or whatever Peppy demands they do. The blood doesn't
Do
dump.
a barrel roll.
The blood doesn't dump to their fucking feet and they don't black out because they have robot legs. That's like real fucking Star Fox lore. That's badass. That's badass real life pilot shit that they're like, fuck that. Our Fox doesn't have that problems and neither does our Frog because we gave him human robot legs. That's fucking cool. But yeah, I digress.
I'm thinking about getting a surgery to get some robot legs.
Always, every day, it's a thought on my mind. Every time my knee hurts, it's like, well, I could just cut it off. Like with the rate science is changing right now, I could probably cut it off and then 10 years from now be kicking footballs over mountains,
Over mountains.
through people.
Well, man, that's all I've got for any type of news.
Mr. John Romero and Mr. Adrian Carmack, the two founders of id Software, the guys who made Doom, who are not on Doom anymore, they have a Kickstarter for a game called fucking Black Room that sounds neat and it might be neat, but check
What's
it out.
I mean, is it Doom-like?
Yeah, they're going back to. I think that's John Romero's fucking shtick is run around and shoot shit. Like
Yeah.
we were talking about with Devin the other day, he just released a Doom 2 level pretty recently, like a month ago or maybe just a couple weeks ago. So they're doing
Doom
that.
is May 5th?
13th? Is it
13th?
5th? I don't remember. It's soon. That's for sure.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Looks
God,
like
I
a
hope it's-
well-polished Doom. I don't know.
I hope it's fun. I hope the multiplayer's fun. I honestly I don't care about single player, but I hope the multiplayer is something along the lines of like a Quake multiplayer.
It looks like it's going to be what you and I both like getting back to, which is like the Dirty Bomb style, where you're not. I don't want hyper realistic, but then adding jetpack running and
That's such a
multiple
weird
scopes and
weird
just
mixture.
so much to deal with. I want a shoot button, a reload button, and like a second, like a grenade or something.
Doom,
but I
Doom
don't,
doesn't even have a reload button. It's all of your ammo is just fucking exists, and you just hold the trigger until it reaches fucking zero, and then
awesome.
Doom. That's it. Fucking yeah, I'm all about that. Don't give me a reload button, or don't give me endless ammo and then give me like iron sights though. Give me like just hip shooting everywhere I go, endless amounts of fucking ammo, and call me a space marine and I'll be happy. That sounds fucking fine.
Yep. Yeah, I like that. I like the way Dirty Bomb does the. You can hip shoot with the exact same accuracy that you can aim down the sights.
Yeah,
like
the
it might
sights-
help you physically focus, but as long as you put the crosshairs there, that's where the bullets are going.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't need super realism. Like I don't need to feel like
That's
I'm
why I
shooting
play
my
video
enemies.
games.
Yeah. Just want to play.
That's why I'm not stoked about VR. I don't want to get up and do shit. That's why I play video games, so I don't have to get up and do shit. I
How
wanna sit
good?
here with that in my fucking hand and fucking fuck shit up.
How good is the video of the girl playing the zombie thing
Man.
on VR?
Man, oh man. Melissa sent me that, so I watched that like first thing Sunday morning laying in bed. And it was she yelling no more by the end of that?
Dude, it's so good.
I didn't watch it a second. I should have watched it a second time. I meant to.
She's got those things, and like, dude, she runs out of bullets at one point, and the thing is like there.
Yeah.
And she is in. This is terror, people.
Yeah.
Like true terror. She just screaming and trying to hit the reload button, and then she like kills the one and turns around. Another one's like there, dude.
Screaming bloody fucking murder the entire time.
Like pee dancing in the middle of the room. Yeah,
Fucking
do yourself a
intense,
favor.
man.
Find that video because that's what VR is good for.
I'll put
VR
it
is
up.
good if you have a girlfriend because you just buy it, then you take your camera and you videotape her playing that game. I don't even know what it is, but it's super dark, and then these like creepy looking naked red zombie things
Yeah.
run at you, and they can run at you now 360 degrees and you can only see and it's so dark that you can like see them come out of like the mist, and she be killing them and then turn around, there's one like
And just
inside
lose
of her,
mind.
it's there. Yeah. And then
Cow, 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 cow.
so good.
So
And then there's the grandma on the couch one with the dinosaurs.
I didn't see
That one's another pretty good one. They give her the VR from it's the cell phone one.
Oh, okay.
But and she's like looking
that the
behind the
deer?
couch and just she's oh my, like putting her hands up and dude, it trips her out pretty good. The immersion factor is pretty cool. I mean, you are now tricking your senses into believing that you are like I've never played a zombie game and been that terrified.
Like actually worried about your
Yeah.
well-being.
Yeah, like Fear. That remember when Fear came out? Like it was scary. It did
Yeah.
the blinky
God
light, and
damn, I wasn't
I'd leave the lights on when I played it. Like it was.
Yeah, I was like, fuck yeah, it's time to play Fear once. I was like, turn the
quick,
lights off.
quick.
Here we go. And fired that up. I was like, well, no, this obviously isn't happening. Fucking lights back on. And I just wanted to move my computer to the corner so I could face the rest
Yeah.
of the room.
You're constantly
Fucking
taking your
nothing
headphones
sneaking
off
up on
and looking
me.
around.
Yeah.
Just
Huh?
what?
What?
What? Mom, make more noise. You sneak up on me again, I'm gonna put you down. Like you just that game was. But that even that level of fear.
It was Randy in that episode of South Park when he's like, I'm so startled right now. I'm so startled.
This girl she's horrified.
Yeah.
She is
fucking terrified.
But won't take it off because it was too immersed. Like she never yanks a thing. She just
No.
screams and panics and
Yeah. At no point in time did she just like put her hands down and just go, no, and just take it off.
Yeah.
She's like fucking freaking out the entire time. She
that
just,
should
like-
be the commercial for VR. Be the game and then just show that.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I want one now. Is if it can make her do that. And the graphics weren't great.
No,
like if you
that's the nutty thing about it. It's like it doesn't look that good. Not in comparison.
imagine when it does look good.
No. No, then it's just this. It's what you and me are doing right now. Yeah. The only difference is it's like it's fucking Hillary supporters or Bernie supporters or fucking Trump supporters that are coming after you like, will you sign my
Sign this
petition?
petition.
Can you fuck I had my headphones in the other day at school, and somebody came up to me, just looks at me, and just starts talking to me. It's like, you sly motherfucker. It's like, now I have to pull a headphone off because you fully committed. I'll feel
that's
that
that's when you
otherwise.
just tap it.
Yeah.
Look back down.
Fucking tricky ass. I got Darks. I know you want to get out of here, but I have a couple more things, so fucking deal with it. Longest podcast ever. I got Dark Souls 3, and that game builds fucking character F. Everyone should have to play that game. Everyone who likes video games, and anyone who says that video games are too easy should have to play that game.
I saw your post. I used to be a great adventurer until I took an
the
arrow
way
to the
the
neck.
arrows stick in your character are the fucking best. It's just I had one stuck in my face earlier, but I couldn't get the fucking couldn't figure out the screenshot button fast enough because I'm a fucking idiot. I don't take screenshots, so I don't know what button it is. That's my shortcoming in this life. But beating shit in that game is one of the most satisfying fucking feelings ever. Like when you beat a boss in that game, you can just you just be happy. Just fucking happy.
Because it's difficult. It's not Darksiders where you can just relentlessly mash and sometimes just blow right through a boss in a couple of seconds.
Yeah. It's so good. When you told me that you were ready, I had like a quarter of an inch of health left. I was out of health potions, and I was just standing with my options were like, go into this building where sitting outside of this building is a dude with a giant mace who is essentially promising me that I'm going to die as soon as I walk in there. Or I could go up these stairs that has a group of dogs, a group of guys with giant fucking hammers, and this fat lady with this creepy fucking mace thing that makes terrifying noises as she walks around. Makes like this fucking just like this dead like clong, clong. And it's like her staff hitting the ground as she walks. And he's just like, I don't want to go that way either. So I was like, I'll go look in the sewers because you have to go find a bonfire to save. Otherwise, you're just fucked. So I just need to find a bonfire. I don't have shit left, and I get down into the sewers because fuck it, why not? And the rats show up. I'm like, fuck. Okay, so I kill the rats. They're one hit apiece. Fucking easy peasy. I start working through the sewers, not a long distance, and then I get to this like cloud of smoke, and then like 3 more rats come running out. It's like, oh, god damn it. So I kill the rats, and then a rat that is the size of the sewer comes fucking running after me. And you just, sometimes you just lose hope. And I ended up killing it because it was super weak, fucking thankfully. And then I climbed a ladder and opened up a door, and a bonfire was right there. And that was like the most satisfying fucking feeling that I've had in Dark Souls, was that I chose the right of 3 directions to fucking not die. But
I saw this, it was like the biggest nope I've ever had in a game. And it was a guy's playing Dark Souls 3, and he climbs this ladder. And he gets up and he turns, and it's just like a giant with like chains on him. He's mad, and the guy
yeah.
Nope.
I fucking saw that. I saw just a picture, and it was, the caption was like, I actually turned around and left. This is the first time in a game that I actually just turned around and left.
On 9gag, they had like the gif of it, and that dude he's like, ding, ding, ding. And he should have died. I don't know how it glitched out and he lived, but the thing charges at him, and it hits him at the last second. He falls down the sewer.
Yeah.
But he hit like a ledge, and it stuck for just a second, then he fell again, so it didn't take all his health away. And he got up and was just like, hup, 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 and just ran away.
Fuck a bunch of this. I don't know
Yeah,
how long.
I'll probably get it.
It's fucking fun, dude. I think I have 7 hours into it right now because I play that game slow as shit, and it's just like inch by inch. It's unforgiving, but yeah, it's built for you to lose. So like, you have to fucking lose to figure out how to play the game. So just go give it a fucking stab. Some people don't dig it. Whatever. That's their fucking. That's their shit. They can enjoy their shitty games.
Shitty game.
All right, dude. Well, I'm ready to go play video games. Actually.
Sounds good to me. I got to figure out what we're doing with this house, and then try to weasel out some time to play some video games.
Hell yeah.
So please head on over to podbean.com. It would be, what is it? Horribleinfluence.podbean.com.
Yes, sir.
Hit a subscribe. Go to Twitter. We're Horrible Influence on there. Spelled a little funky, but I'm sure you can find it. And same thing on Facebook. And stay tuned for giveaway information because it's about that time again.
Hell yeah. Hopefully we can start doing that more often.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of crap to give away. I just need to find a good outlet. So there you go. Somebody give us some ideas on how to give some things away. And we will talk to you next week.
Yay, yay. Take care.